Hello, everyone. Welcome to the GEG APAC session. We are going to learn about how to create engaging assessments and online quizzes with the help of Google Forms. I welcome all the educators from around the world and participants to be part of this learning platform. Hope you will gain lot of insightful lessons on how you can use Google Forms to create engaging assessments and online quizzes to make learning a better experience for students. So let me just share my screen. Allow me to share my screen. So good evening everyone from India. I'm Sumedha Soti, HOD Social Science Department from Elcon International School, Delhi, India. The topic for today's webinar is creating engaging assessments and quizzes with the Google Forms. So I am a trained graduate teacher with almost above 13 years of progressive, responsible, and professional experience into teaching. I have my own podcast channel, which I request everyone to follow and subscribe. That is Edu Rockstar Talks podcast. You can listen to the various discussions by edu experts and rockstars based on student engagement, learning experiences, and you can also rock your classroom with me. I'm a Bunsey ambassador, a Wakelet ambassador, Adobe empowered educator, Nearpod certified teacher, Seesaw pioneer, Class Dojo mentor, Parlay Idea certified teacher, and Quizzes certified game changer. Now, the learning outcomes for today's session are you will be learning about how to build the Google Forms. So, there will be a familiarity build up that how you can use Google Forms, how you can navigate the interface of Google Forms to create exciting quizzes and make learning an engaging experience for the learners. Learn about unique features of Google Forms, auto generation of certificates and reward card at the end of quiz is also possible with the Google Forms. Now the question comes is why to use Google Forms? Number one, they are easy to access, customize and download, packed with lot of fun features and add-ons. It is a reservoir to all kind of assessments, quiz, survey, data, etc. you would like to create. Google Forms are packed with exciting features and various add-ons, which make a Google Form a very powerful tool. It helps in maintaining records with very ease of comfort, easily accessible by students, participants. If they are not having email IDs also, then also our learners can utilize all the benefits of attempting the quiz or assessments using Google Forms. Now, what are the benefits of Google Forms for teachers? Auto grading is possible in Google Forms. There is a facility of answer validation. We can assign marks to the questions. We can provide feedback to students on individual questions. They help us in collecting data on a spreadsheet, the Google Sheet. It can share reward cards to boost the motivation, and positive reinforcement is there for the child. So without any further delay, let us do a hands-on practice Google Forms. So first you Gmail account and you will click here on these Google App Store and you will go to Google Drive. This is the first step you have to follow. Or the other step is that you can directly go to your Google and type their Google Forms. So here in the left hand side corner, you will see this button with a plus sign saying new. As you click here, there is an option of creating a new Google form. So we have to click over here, and a blank Google form will be there in front of you to utilize it. So the first thing you see here in this interface is a untitled form where you can write title of your assessment or the quiz which you are going to create for your learners. So let us create a quiz today on Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, for the demo, Sustainable Development Goals. Here you can mention a description which you would like to add to your quiz. So to save time, I have already prepared the description and questions from where I will just copy paste and make a quiz in front of you. So this is the description I want to mention in my quiz. So here I will just copy and paste. The other thing, important thing which you have to keep in mind is that this is the place where you can give the title to your form so that once you search it, it's easily located in your Google Drive. So generally by default, it takes the same name as you have given the heading to your form. So once it's there, you can copy paste it and automatically it will take the title from your form. So your form has a title now. It has a description ready for you to use for the quiz. Now we have various other tools which are located on the top. So let me explain these tools to you. This first tool, which looks like a puzzle, these are the add-ons which you have installed from the Google marketplace for your Google Drive to be used. So this is the add-ons. This tool is the theme tool, which you can utilize to make your form look better, to look creative. So let us use this option of putting an image on the header. So I'm going to choose an image for my quiz based on the topic I am doing. So these are some free images which are given to us by Google to be used. There are photographs on work and school, illustrations, birthday, food and dining, party, just kids, wedding, night out, sports and travel, games. So there are different kind of images. So let me use this image as a header image and click on insert. So you will see this image will be added on my header. On my quiz header, it is automatically added. If I don't want it, I can cross it and I can remove it. Now there are various theme colors which are there available. You can give a theme color to your form and accordingly the background of the form keeps on changing. So according to my color preference, I can keep any theme color for my form. Also, there is an option of background color. So that was the theme color and this is the background color. We also have options of changing the settings of the form, the font style of the form. So I can use playful, or there are other types which I can use: formal, basic, decorative. So I have taken the formal one. So this is the theme option which you can use. Now comes the next tool, which is preview. So once your quiz is ready, you can go to preview tab and have a look at your quiz before sharing it with the students. The other thing is the settings option. So let us explore this. Go to settings tool. There are three options that you will see. The first is general. So the first checkbox says, do you want to collect email addresses of the respondents? So yes, I want to collect, to refer to that who has submitted the form and who has not submitted. I maybe want to communicate with them later. So I want to collect email addresses. Second question says, do you want the respondents to answer only once? the second time the form will not open for them. So yes, I want my students to answer only once. Respondents can the respondents edit the answers after their submission? No, I don't want that. So I can leave it blank. See summary chart and text responses. I don't want my learners to see that. So I can leave it. The second part says the presentation. So do you want your learners to see the progress bar, how much quiz they have completed? Yes, I want that. Do you want questions to be shuffled? No, I don't want that. And in the last, when the quiz gets over, what message you would like to show to your responders? So I can write here anything like, thank you for submitting your answers. Or you can write, thank you for participating in the quiz. So anything you can write here, whatever confirmation message you would like to show. And then comes the quiz. If you are making an assessment, then you have to also give gradings to your children, your students. So with the help of auto grading option, you can mark the answers and give the values to your question through this platform called quizzes. So I have switched it on. Make this form as a quiz. If I switch it on, it will start assigning point values to questions and allow auto grading of the form. So there are two options. Do you want children or the students to immediately see their grades after the submission, or first you want to review all the answers yourself and then you want to give the marks to students? So here I can choose latter. After my manual review, the student should be able to see the answer. If you want immediately the student should be able to see, you can choose this option. If you want to review the answers, maybe you have given some submissive questions for the assessment, so and you want to read those answers and then finalize the marks, so you can choose the second option. The next category says respondent can see missed questions. Yes, I want them to see the correct answers, the point value. So if you are grading them later, so they will not be able to see the correct answers on the spot. And if you want to show them how much question is having how much weightage, then we should check box this, the point value, so that they are able to see this question carries how much marks. And once all the settings are done, then you can click on the save button. So your settings are now done and you are ready to frame quiz or assessment for your learners. Now these tabs are clear. I am repeating again. The first is the add-ons. If any extra add-on you want in your Google form, you can download it from these three dots. Once you go to these three dots, you have these options available. You can make a copy of this form. Either if you don't want it, you can move it to trash. You can get pre-filled link for this particular form. You can print it. You can add collaborators. If you want other teachers of your department to come and collaborate to the form and give some their touch to the form, you can add them as collaborators. You can be the script editor. You can download the add-ons from this particular tab. So there are various tab-ons, like if you want to include a certification for the quiz takers, for the responders, you can download a add-on, which I have already added here in my Google Chrome extension. So here I already have one add-on which is known as Certifime. Certifime is an add-on which you can use to generate the certificates for your quiz takers, for your respondents on the spot after completing the quiz. The certificate will be mailed to them in their inbox through on the ID which they are using to enter their quiz. So this is one add-on which I am already using. The other add-on I have downloaded is Timer plus Proctor, or the Auto Proctor, which helps me to take the timing assessment and how much time my children are using for completing the quiz. So I sometimes use this add-on for assessing various quiz and assessments for my learners. So you can also download different add-ons from this particular button from the Google extension marketplace. And these are free to use, so for various features, and for the premium features we may have to pay. Now coming on to the different type of tools that you can see here on the right hand side, the first tab says add question. So every time you add question, you have to use this plus button to add more questions to your quiz. The second tab says import questions. If you already have questions with you in the Google Doc or in the Microsoft document, or you have it in some Excel sheet, Google Excel sheet. So you can download those sheets and import your questions from there. You can add title and description. You can add images. You can add videos to your question, and you can add a subsection also to your question. So now let us start adding questions in our Google form. So here is the first untitled question where we need to add our question. So let me just copy and paste the question which I have already created for this quiz. So first question I want to put here is the name of the person who is taking the quiz. I want to know who is taking this particular quiz. So I will first use the option of the name. First question is full name. I want to record the full name of the person who is taking this quiz. And these are the different varieties of questions you can put. You can use short answer questions, paragraph questions, multiple choice questions, check boxes question, drop down questions, file upload, linear scale, multiple choice question, checkbox grid, date and time you can record. So Google Forms give you the power to use diversified types of questions. So the typology of the question is a great variety in Google Forms that you can use. So the first question which I have written here is full name, because I want to know the name of the respondent here, and I can switch on this required tab that without answering this question, the child or the respondent will not be able to submit the form. And here is the answer key. So here I don't need to feed any answer key, and I don't need to allot any marks because I don't want to give marks for writing the name. And then we have this plus button, which I will use to add another question. So here maybe I am interested to know that my respondents belong to which class and section, if they are students, and if they are not students, they are adults, and you are doing some kind of quiz online for any of the event, you can mention the name of the city they belong to or the name of the country they belong to. So any such questions you can mention here and make it required. Name of city. Another question I am adding here is name of country, which country my participants belong to. If they are students, you can mention class, section, and you can mention age group, school name. So accordingly, various questions can be framed to elicit the data about the respondents. And then you click on the required button, that without answering this question, the respondent will not be able to move further and they will not be able to submit the quiz. Once my basic questions are over, my general questions are completed, then I come to the main question of the quiz, and I will simply copy and paste it from the data which I have already created. So first I want to create a simple question to elicit the understanding of my participants, and I want to put a question over here. What is the full form of SDGs? And I want to use this type of question, short answer. So I will leave it blank, and I don't want to put any answer key, so I can leave it blank. But if you want answer feedback to be written, you can mention the number of points you want to allot to this particular question from these kind numbers which are given. If you want to make it a 1 mark question, 2 mark question, 3 mark question, accordingly you can set the point value over here and answer your feedback over here. So my answer to this question is sustainable development goals, and I can save it. So my first question is set. If you want to add a correct answer over here, you can add more correct answers depending upon what kind of answers you are expecting from your learners, from your respondents. So if you want to put it in lowercase also, in case any child answer in lowercase, then this answer should also be marked correct. And mark all other answers incorrect. You can choose this option and then you click on done button. So your first question is set to be used in the quiz. Now coming on to second question, I again clicked here on the plus button to add a question, and I went to my Google Doc to insert the second question, which I want to make a paragraph question. So here I have made a paragraph type question, which is the second typology. The first is the short answer. Second is the paragraph answer. So here I want to write a question. How can you contribute in spreading the awareness about SDGs? So here I have framed a paragraph question for my respondents. Answer key, I can leave it blank because I don't know what my learners are going to write in this answer. I can give it for 2 marks. And answer feedback, I will be leaving it blank. And later on, I will be reviewing all the answers to give marks to my respondents. So this is the second typology of the question we have added, which is the paragraph type question. Now coming on to the third type of question, let us see what is the next question we want to give. Now we want to give a multiple choice question. So how many SDG goals have been agreed by the United Nations? So here we have added the question and multiple choice. We have different options for the learners to be added here. So one by one, we can add all the options over here, which we want to give as a multiple choice to our learners, and going to answer key. Then you can add value to your question if you want it for 1 mark, 2 mark, and you have to add the answer feedback also. So answer feedback is whether you want to give any message to the learners if they choose this option 17 goals. So what answer, if they give correct answer, what message they will be able to see. So you can give bravo, correct answer. So any message you can give to your learners, the feedback. You can also add a feedback for incorrect answer, that the correct answer for this particular question is this. So as many feedback you want to add, you can add it. Feedback for correct answer as well as feedback for incorrect answer. And once you have set the right choice, the feedback, the marks, all these things are there, then you can simply click on done and your question is there. And then if you want, respondent should not be able to submit the form without completing this particular question, you can make it required question. Now coming on to next question, on the plus button, we click here on the plus button and here we come to next question. So let us see which is the next question typology we are going to make. So let us use this question. Identify the logo and choose the SDGs from the given option. So here we are going to insert an image, and we want to make this assessment engaging for our learners. So let us use this image option. So I will click here. It will ask me whether you want to upload from your own device, camera, by URL of the image, any photos, or from Google Drive, or you want to search from Google Image Search. If I have the image already in my desktop, I can use the option of upload, and I can upload the photograph over here from my desktop. So let me just use this photograph to create a question, and I have already copy pasted the question here. Identify the logo and choose the correct SDG from the given option. So here is the logo of one of the SDGs goal, and I have these options. So I can also copy these options and paste it in the Google form if I don't want to type every time. So you can see easily all the questions are added in my Google form without any problem. So first is life on land, life underwater, climate action, zero hunger. What does this logo signify? And then I can put the answer key. So I can add value to this question. Point 1, I have added. The correct answer is climate action. And answer feedback. If any child gives the correct answer to this question, I can make a feedback written for the child. Awesome. You got it right. And if you want to enter some feedback for incorrect answer, you can also do that. And you can also insert a link or a video for your children to watch, so that they should be able to know why their answer was wrong, and they can study the concept again. So that option is also available in the Google form. So once it is done, I will simply click on the done button, and I will click on the required option, so that without submitting this answer, my child should not be able to submit the assessment, because this question is important for the child to answer. Now, again, I want to add one more question. So let us use another typology of question. We have used short answer, we have used paragraph, we have used multiple choice. Now we have used the picture based question. Now let us try the file upload one. If I want the children to upload a file in this particular form, so this is the option which I have to choose, and it says files will be uploaded to the form owner's Google Drive. So I am the owner of this form. All the photos will be added to my Google Drive, and respondents will be able to sign in into Google when file upload questions are added. So make sure to share this form only with those people whom you trust, so that they are not able to misuse, and they are not able to put some photographs which are obscene or vulgar, and you do not want to see those photographs. So you have to be very, very particular if you are using this type of typology of question for students, for the people whom you know. They, for that type of people and respondent, this type of question can be used. And if I am not sure, I can simply cancel this type of question. And now let me add one more question for my students and participants, so that I can engage them in learning. So I am adding a question here where my children will first, my participants will first watch a video. So I can also attach a video here by using this option of add video. So once I click here, it will ask me that you can search for any video over here. So since this quiz is about sustainable development goals, I will mention here sustainable development goals, and I will search for a YouTube video which is based on sustainable development goals. and I can also play the video and see what message it is trying to give. So let me use any of these videos, and let me use this one. So I will click here and I will go to select option, and you can see here this video has been added to my quiz. Here it is saying untitled video. So I can simply mention here video on SDGs. So here children will be able to watch the video, and here I can give the different options that I want my children to answer that particular question, which they have to give after watching the video. I can simply copy and paste from the Google Doc or from my Word document, and I can add it to my quiz to save time. So once it is added, I can switch it on. The question here, the question can be added here. Watch the video and answer the question which follows. So I have to put the question over here. The question which I want to give here is, what does SDG number 4 refers to? So I will add that particular question over here. So here is my question. Children will watch the video and then they are going to give the answer. You can also use the drag and drop interface. You can put the video first, and then you can, this is the dragger option which you can use to drag your questions and place them one upon each other according to the sequencing of the questions. You can shift it. So once it is done, let me check if I have added the answer over here. So we have to add the answer key. The correct answer to this question is quality education, and I want to give 1 point to this particular question also. And once it is there, we can click on done. And if you want to add answer feedback also, so you can use that option. Once it is done, and now I want to add another question, so I will go here. The another typology of the question you can choose from here is the checkbox question. So if I want to use a checkbox type question where my children can choose multiple answers, so I can write a question accordingly. Which SDGs you are passionate to work upon? So I can give options over here. Zero hunger. The second option I want to give no poverty. So my children can choose as many SDG goals they want for this particular question which I have mentioned. And you can here given option of any other. So this way you can make it a required question. Here there is a 3 dots option which also gives you option of writing a description to this question, response validation. If you want to validate each response, that is also available. And now the child will be able to choose 2 to 3 options depending upon what answer and which SDGs the child is more interested into. And here I don't want to give any points because this is not based on assessment. If you want to make it assessment based, then you can give 1 point to this question. Just to cover all type of typology of question, I am trying to use one question type each, so that you know how we can use different type of questions in our quiz and assessments to make it more engaging for the learner instead of always using multiple choice question option. Now similarly, we let us use this linear scale question. So in the last, you can put after once the all the quiz is ready, you can give this question to your children. Which SGG or what is your level of understanding about SDGs. What is your current level of understanding about SDGs? Rate on the scale of 1 to 10. So here you can choose the scale 1 to 10. And then you can give here 1 is the lowest and 10 means the highest. Here you can give label to your numbering, what does 1 stands for and what does 10 stands for. And then you can make it a required question. You don't want to give any number to this question. This is a general question which you are using to check the understanding of your participants about a particular topic. So we have used linear scale. File upload, I have told you. Drop down is choosing a particular option. If you don't want to want the child to simply click on a particular MCQ, you can choose download drop down option. For example, I want to frame a question over here. Which SGG talks about gender equality? And here I can give the options SGG 1, I can give the second option SGG 2, I can give the third option here SGG 3, I can give option number 4 SGG 5. And once it is there, all the options I have given, then I can make it is a required question. Answer key I can choose from here. So this is my correct answer, and answer feedback I can give correct. So similarly, I can save all these type of questions here. And once all the questions are set, different typology of questions are done, I can simply use the send button to share this quiz. I can send this quiz via mail. I can send this quiz via a link. I can use this shorten URL option to make it little short. I can embed this quiz by using this HTML address. I can send this quiz via Facebook, via Twitter. So these are the different methods I can use to send this quiz to my respondents. I can email this quiz to my students. So I can send via mail, I can use link, and I can embed it. So these are the different methods. I can add collaborators by choosing this option who will be having the editing rights to my quiz. So these are the different ways you can create the engaging quiz and assessments for your learners. Now coming on to the responses. Once my students and my participants have completed the quiz, they can see the responses. Right now, nobody has attempted this quiz, so this is zero response. Once students have completed the quiz, you will be able to see the number of responses, and you can download the spreadsheet. You can download the responses easily through this particular tab, which is create spreadsheet, and you can easily download and see the data which will be in the form of Google Sheets, and all the answers will be visible to you. So that is of really good help, that how it can help us to create the responses which are being mentioned by the respondents. And these three buttons, three dots which you can see, it says get email notification for every new response. So every time you get a new response, you can get an email notification if you enable this button. And Select response destination. Where do you want the responses should go? Do you want to create a new spreadsheet, or you want to create select any existing spreadsheet? So you can choose that option and create it. So once this is ready, you are ready to go and you can send this. It is getting auto saved. All changes you can see are saved in the drive. So I hope everything is clear to you. This is all about from my side, talking about the Google Forms, how you can use Google Forms to create engaging quiz and assessments for your kids, and how you can involve them to be the learning partners instead of just using the Google Forms to collect the data. You can also use for taking the assessments. If you have any questions, you can write it in the chat box. I will be happy to answer your questions. Just mention your questions in the chat box and I will be happy to answer your questions. Okay, there is a question about importing the questions. Let me show you. I am again sharing my screen. So here you can see I will go to my quiz and I will select here in the any previous form which you have already created. You can use those questions. For example, I want to use this quiz, fitness quiz, to import the question. I can simply go to it and select it. So these are the questions which I have used in the previous quiz. Which of the following health benefits you get from walking? What is the definition of muscular strength? So, all the questions which I have used in the previous quiz will come here. I can select any of the questions and I can import these questions to my quiz by clicking this option, import quiz. So, this is how you can import the questions from the existing quizzes that you already have in your Google Drive. Now I have a question here. Please tell about copy to be sent to the student. So if you want to send a copy to your students, you can go to the settings tab and here you can see all the settings have to be done. Response receipt. If you will collect this response receipt, so the respondent will be able to see a option if respondent requested. So there will be an option for the respondent. I want the receipt of this particular quiz or assessment or form. So if the respondent click that, the respondent will receive the form in his or her mailbox. But if you want that it should go compulsorily to all the respondent, you can click the always option instead of giving the choice to the respondent whether the form should go in their mailbox or not. So if you want to make sure that yes, it should go to the respondent, you can click on the always option. So always it will reach to the respondent. So this way you can do that. And Once it is done, please remember to click on save option so that it is saved. I hope it is clear. Bhavna ma'am asked this question. If you have more questions, you can write it in the chat box regarding the Google Forms. Because every time making assessment of, because in the virtual environment you can see designing a good assessment is also a creative task which the teachers have to do. If the assessment is not engaging and every time we are using one typology of question, we are using only multiple choice question, so the children also get bored and they are unable to engage in the learning experience. So it is always better to use the questions which are based on images. For very young learners, the teachers who teach primary children, they can also use Google Forms for designing such assessments which are picture based, which are video based. So it is not that only for the middle schoolers or senior schoolers you can use Google Form. For the young learners also, you can easily use Google Form by embedding different images, by different video questions, by using smileys, and you can ask the child to choose the smiley at the end of the test, that how the learners enjoyed the test, what was the scale. So such easy questions can also be given to the young learners, and assessment can easily be created in this way, and data collection becomes very very easy. Once your children will start responding, you can simply download the Google Sheet, the spreadsheet from the response section, and the Google Sheet will be updated it automatically. You don't have to record the answers of each learner. Every answer will keep on updating itself in the Google spreadsheet, and you can just refer to the Google spreadsheet to see the answers given by children, what is their total score. You can manually review their answer, and all your data collection becomes very very easy by using the Google Forms. So that is why Google Form is a very very important tool which is very powerful for taking formative assessments plus using summative assessment. If you don't want to make a quiz or assessment, you can simply use it as a form. So here I would like to showcase some of the use cases, that how as a teacher I am using Google Forms with my learners, so that to give you some insights into how Google Forms can be used by the teachers in different ways. So I will just show you the different type of forms that I have and I have created for my learners. So let me just show you the another interface also, that if you do not want to go from your Google Drive, you can simply go to Google and type there Google Forms. So the tab that you see here, Google Forms, you can click here. So you will see two types of interface. Go to Google Forms and go to Google Workplace. So you can go to this tab, go to Google Forms. Once you choose this option, there is an option of creating a blank one, the one we have created using the Google Drive pathway. There are different templates which are ready to use. You can have templates related to RSVP. If you want to collect the information about your students, you can use contact information template, party invite, t-shirt sign up, event registration. So there are ready to use templates which you can use. And these are some of the different forms which I have created, like just now I have created a SDG quiz with you, a fitness quiz I have created for one of the Fit India quiz week that we are going to celebrate. Revision worksheets I have created for my students. We have created the Google Forms for collecting data of our house children, that how many children are there, what activities do they like to do, practice tests are there. So different kind of quizzes you can create and forms you can create depending upon what kind of data you have to collect for your students, because data collection becomes very very easy when we use these Google Forms or Microsoft Forms, and it's very simple to collect the data, and later on you can use the data for compiling all the necessary details that you are looking for. So thank you so much everyone for coming and participating with me in the webinar. I hope this session is beneficial for all the educators, for all the participants, and you have got some insights into how Google Forms can be used for creating engaging assessments and the quizzes for the children, so that learning experience become really engaging and fun for the students as well as teachers. And also in the virtual environment, the data collection, which is very very important for documentation, also becomes easy by using such powerful tools which Google has given to us. Once again, thank you so much for participating. Have a nice evening. Bye bye.